Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
The Bangladeshi students, please respond to my comments. I don't think speaking in both Bengali and English is a good practice while you have foreign students in the class.
Okay,
Firstly,
sir.
because they will miss something that you will understand but they won't understand. And the lecture is a very short class, it's just 55 minutes, it's not like 3 hours. So it's not so easy. But my English is not that English like British or American English. Our English kind of local English, kind of Bengali. So it won't be a problem for Bangladeshi students to understand me. This is my thought.
Okay, sir.
No, okay, for Bangladeshi students, why don't you say anything?
Okay, sir, no problem.
Okay, let's try and if you have any problem, ask in every minute. No problem. Just ask me. I don't understand this, and it won't be a problem to explain again, and again. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
should we start because you have 221 students and do you think many students will join? Many more will join? Yes, to join. Hello.
Yes, sir, we
What is
can.
the normal presence in the classroom? Like 300 plus or less than 300?
So less than 300.
Okay, we have 227. Just let's talk some preliminary speaking. And my part is kind of soil physics. You have finished. What other parts you have finished? Who will say? Mr. Delwar. Delwar 21020032.
Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, so what are other parts or sections that you already have finished? The conceptual part, that is concepts of soil, soil science, definition of soils, components of soil, these kind of things they have finished, right?
Yes, sir.
And then
So soil temperature, soil formation এগুলো complete হয়েছে।
soil formation, temperature, weathering process,
Weathering, soil color,
profile, color, complete. And then soil physical properties.
soil physics এর একটা হচ্ছে স্যার।
Which one?
স্যার এটা হচ্ছে
Maybe physical properties like soil texture, structure.
Flow.
Huh?
flow,
Okay. Okay, you cannot say without looking at your khata, right? So what is my suggestion for you? For my part, I will teach soil physics, the core of soil physics, the main part of soil physics. And you all know soil physics is not that much delicious or not as much interesting as chemistry and math. Physics is always normally for biological scientists or students of biological science, they normally don't like physics. But we have to learn, we have to teach soil physics because it is an important part of soil physics. And it covers many important fertility properties of soil. So we have to know soil physics, and without soil physics, without math, without calculation, actually science students cannot go anywhere. So we don't have very big part, we have small part of physics in the first semester. And this is all about soil water measurement, soil water flow, soil water movement in soil or through the soil or from the soil towards the rivers, the surface water body, soil water movement from surface to the groundwater, that is groundwater recharge, and soil water entry, soil water movement through the surface, through the soil column, this kind of things. They are related to the movement of solutes, movement of toxic elements, movement of contaminants like arsenic, cadmium, chromium, lead, all these kind of movements. They are related to soil water flow. Okay. And I said already that this part is not as much interesting as other parts. So you may like or may not like, but you have to learn. And for my class, my personal suggestion, you have, if I stop this class today, go when you are at home, you have to read what did I teach you. you must read what did I teach you today, even for 10 minutes. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
The first
Okay,
suggestion,
sir.
any class you have finished student, you must have a look
Sir.
at your class khata or class note, even for 10 minutes, just to look at what did the teacher talk about his own course. And then following day, when you have again the same class, just take 10 minutes to again go through the lecture. So you need only 20 minutes. And I think it is not that difficult for you to accommodate or to manage 20 minutes for one course.
Sir.
Is that okay? Clear?
Sir,
Yeah,
the
sir.
voice not coming clear, sir.
Not clear? But you
Sir, we
said
cannot
clear.
hear the voice properly, sir.
Is it okay now? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we hear.
স্যার
Sometimes
ভয়েস
high
অলমোস্ট
volume
সবার
and
সমস্যা হচ্ছে খুব সমস্যা হচ্ছে স্যার খুব স্লো আসছে স্যার
Should be okay now. Is it okay now?
Sir, we can hear you, but
Not good.
it's not clear enough.
Yes, sir. It's pretty much noisy, sir.
very low.
Oh. Maybe sound system, there's some problem with the sound system. Is that okay now? Hello?
স্ক্রিন শেয়ার দেখা যাচ্ছে না।
You can continue, sir.
Screen share দেখা যাচ্ছে?
না স্যার,
But I did not share my screen. Where did you get screen?
স্যার স্ক্রিন শেয়ার দেখা যাচ্ছে না
But I did not share yet my screen. How can you see that? I did not yet share it. Okay?
Okay, sir. You can continue.
ওকে স্যার ওকে
I did not yet go to the screen, go to any slides. I am just talking myself. But the problem, if you are not hearing very good, this is the problem. I have to check it. Is that okay now? The voice,
the sound problem is continuing
sound is still a problem, right?
sir, sometimes the volume is coming very high and sometimes low. So it is a problem.
sir if you please use the headphone I think it will be very
But if I use the headphone, okay, okay. Just wait. Okay, so let me try in my laptop. Okay.
okay sir
স্যার কি ফিরে আসবে?
Hello? Hello?
হ্যালো, হ্যাঁ স্যার, ইয়েস স্যার।
Yes,
So
sir.
is it okay now?
জি স্যার, শুনতে পাচ্ছি।
Hello?
ইয়েস স্যার।
Okay, good. So what I was talking, my suggestion was to have a look at for 10 minutes time only. When I finish my class, go home and just look at your class lecture even for 10 minutes. And when you come back for the following day, again you have to read it. Otherwise you shouldn't come to the class without looking at your class lecture. If you do that, then you will miss out what actually I was trying to make you understand. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so do you already know me, or I should also introduce myself?
Sir, please introduce yourself.
My name is Muhammad Mofizur Rahman Jahangir, a professor of this department. I graduated from this university at 2000. Then I joined as a lecturer in 2003. I did my graduation and master's from this university, from BAU, then another master's from Ghent University, Belgium in 2008. And then I did my PhD in Trinity College, Dublin, that is University of Dublin in Ireland. And then my postdoctoral research from the same university in Ireland. Then I came back in March 2015. Until then, I am continuing here, and I was promoted a professor on 2017. Since 2017, I am a professor of this department. My home district is Feni. The Bangladeshi students may know Feni, my home district, and what else I can tell you? I normally teach soil physics in undergraduate and in masters. My major is soil physics. My research interest of research area is climate smart agriculture practices and environmental soil physics. So in your first year, I teach soil physics. Second year, kind of soil profile. Third year, it is something about soil water. Final year, soil fertility. So every year, in every semester, we have some class, some lectures with you. Okay? That's all about me. But I have two suggestions. You have to follow this. You have to read just without reading, without looking at the lecture. If you come to the classroom, this will spoil yourself, spoil our class. So you have to remember my suggestion that you must read before you join the class. You have to read what did I teach in the previous class. You have to read and join the class. Without reading, you shouldn't join the class. And you have to respond to the class, because I note down, I have a notebook here, I note down who is responding and who is not responding. Who is responding, I note down, and especially in your Viva, in your practical Viva board, I award you. I'll give you more marks who are joining, who are interacting with the class teacher. So I note down. And if you are joining, but if you are not listening me, you are joining and you are taking tea. You are joining the class and you are going out, or you are joining the class, you are sleeping. But I sometimes, very often, I call by your student ID. If I don't find you, then I just note down your ID. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Good. So may I proceed or jump forward to the class lecture? Can I share the screen for soil physics, physical part? Okay. Anything else that you need to ask me for my induction, or any question?
No, sir.
No question. But what are my main message? The main message you have to read today when you finish the lecture. You have to read before you come the following lecture. You must read, otherwise you won't understand anything. and you start reading just for one night before the exam, this is wrong. First thing. Second thing, you must pay your attention to the class. If you join, you must pay your attention. If you don't like to pay your attention, you are not interested in the lecture, please don't join. Okay? And I ask question very often. Frequently, I do ask question. This is my nature. And then if I don't find you, I call you by your ID or your name. If I don't find you, I keep you absent, and I must give you punishment in your Viva board in the practical class. Remember these few things, okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, good, good.
Yes, sir.
No question, right?
No.
Good. Okay, just wait a minute. Okay, so now can you see the slides?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. দেখা যাচ্ছে স্যার।
So my part will cover soil water measurement. First, you have to know what is soil water. You already know, you have got some lectures on soil water.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Soil water potential
Sir.
we can learn.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Before you go to soil water potential, you should know what is soil water. Where does water remain in soil? How do soils hold water, or what are the attraction forces that is used to hold water in soil? The location of water in soils, where normally where does water remain in soil, and how do soil hold water? All these things you have to understand. Or why is soil water important? You first know why is this important. If you are motivated that yes, we need to study soil water because soil water is important, then you will be interested in. Otherwise, you won't like or you won't listen. You won't have interest in this area. So, what is the importance of soil water? Why do we need water in soil? Why do plants, why do crops need water in soil? What is the importance? Because you simply know water is important for every life. Without water, no life is possible. For plant nutrients, plant absorbs nutrient from soil. Soil supports plant physically to hold in soil. Otherwise, every plant will fall down by a simple wind. So soil provides physical support and also plant nutrients. But nutrients are available in soil only when there is water. That means plants uptake nutrients from soil as an ion which is dissolved in water, which is in water solution. Otherwise, plant cannot uptake water. So water is essential to provide nutrients to plant because nutrients remain in solution with water and then plant can uptake it. Okay. To translocate nutrient from root zone to plant body to leaves, you need water because nutrients only flow with water. Otherwise, it cannot flow. That is, nutrient flow when they are dissolved in water. So for plant turgidity, you need water. You know turgidity. You know stomatal control, stomatal opening and closing. Do you know stomatal opening closing mechanism?
Yes, sir. We know.
You know water flow, you know water movement through the plants, xylem and phloem tissue. So always you for nutrient absorption, nutrient flow, for turgidity of cells, for stomatal opening, every time plant needs water. If there is no water, no turgidity of cell, then stomata cannot open. If stomata don't open, what will happen? If stomata don't open, there is no transpiration. If there is no transpiration, plant will burn out because of scorching sunlight. The radiation coming from the solar system to the plant leaves is creating heat, and this heat energy, if plant cannot balance this heat energy, plant will burn out. So to protect itself from burning, they use water and they open the stomata and leave like 1 gram water they use for 580 calorie water. To balance 580 calorie of energy, plant use 1 gram water. So at the same time, they transpire water and what they absorb, they also leave oxygen and they trap carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. You know, the photosynthesis is the single most important chemical reaction in the world, which is protecting the greenery, the plants. And without plants, human cannot live. And without carbon dioxide, plant cannot produce carbohydrate. You know photosynthesis. Can someone tell me about photosynthesis? The photosynthesis reaction? Anybody? Tawhid.
Yes, sir.
What is photosynthesis?
This photosynthesis, sir. অক্সিজেন আর কার্বন ডাইঅক্সাইড ভারসাম্য রক্ষাকারী একটা প্রক্রিয়া।
So what is the reaction?
স্যার এখানে স্যার ক্লোরোফিল সূর্যালোকের সাহায্যে
So carbon dioxide, water, in presence of
উপজাত হিসেবে অক্সিজেন উৎপন্ন হয়।
sunlight, right? They are producing carbohydrate.
Yes, sir.
This is the, so for carbohydrate production, for the photosynthesis, you need water two way. One, you directly need water molecules to produce carbohydrate. Second one, to open the stomata, to entrap carbon dioxide, plant needs water. Because without water, cell turgidity will not happen and plant cannot open the stomata. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So simply, if I just say the importance of soil water in terms of nutrient availability, nutrient absorption, nutrient mass flow, and photosynthesis, up to photosynthesis. Without water, it cannot do anything. Even simple way, without water, no life can live. So water is important for us, for crop production, for any crop, for plants, for trees, for forestry, for everything you need water. So now the question, how do soil hold water because soil is a porous system. Soil is a porous system. That means there are some pore space. You know the major components of soil: mineral matter, organic matter, air, and
Water.
Water.
and they occupy air and water occupy about 50%. 50%.
50%.
So this 50% can be pore spaces. Without pore space, soil cannot accommodate air and water. So for accommodating air and water, it has about 50%, depending on soil type, soil texture. For sandy soil, this is less than lower, and for clay soil, this is more than sandy soil, the porosity. That means soil has pore spaces, and they keep the whole water in these pore spaces. Normally, water in the micropore and air in the macropore. You know the air and water. Air in the macropore and water in the
Micropore.
What is the size, normally size scale of macro and micropore?
Less than 30 micrometer.
Less than 13
micrometer.
30 or more than 30 macro and less than 30 micrometer. This is micropore. Normally water remains in micropore, but when soil is saturated, that means there is a rain, there is irrigation water supply, then all the pore spaces can be occupied by water, right? What we call saturation, saturated condition or saturation. Okay?
Okay, sir.
And then after saturation, what happens? There is evaporation, there is transpiration by plant. So evapotranspiration causes loss of water from soil. And there is gravitational force. Gravity just pull out water from soil pore spaces down to the groundwater. Gravity sucks out or pulls out water normally from the macropore. Gravitational force pull out water from macropore. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then water remains only in the micropore.
Micropore.
Yes. After the gravitational water moved out to the groundwater, then you have only micropore contains water. Okay.
Okay.
And
Yes,
how do micropore then holds water? There are two different kinds of forces. One is adhesion, another one is cohesion. Adhesion and cohesion. So what is adhesion? Adhesion is attraction between dissimilar molecules, two different molecules. Attraction between a girl and a what? Boy is kind of adhesion, two different molecules. Attraction between the similar molecules is cohesion. So from the word co, you can just remember co means cohesion means similar. Okay. So
Okay,
how do adhesion occurs in soil? Soils are when soils have clay, soils have colloid, soils have humus, they are negatively charged. Negatively
Charged.
That means soil bears some negative charges. And water molecules, it has both positive and negative charge, right? You know that water is a bipolar molecule.
Yes, sir. Bipolar molecule.
Yes. So it has two positive charges and one negative charge, right? 2H plus, that means two positive charges and one O. So O is just holding two H pluses and it has a negative charge also. And when you have positive charge, the hydrogen ion then makes a bond with the negative charge of soil particle, with the clay particle, with the humus, with the colloid. Then there is a chemical bond. Okay. So this is adhesion. That means soil can hold water molecules. How? Because they have negative charge and they hold the positive charge of water molecule. This is adhesion. And what is cohesion? Cohesion between similar molecules. So cohesion between water and water. So water has both positive and negative charge, right? So with the negative charge, if there is a positive charge, that is hydrogen and oxygen, they can make a bond, which is the bond between water molecules. This is cohesion. Clear?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
So location of water molecules in soil is soil pore spaces, and angles between soil particles. The angle, if there is an angle between two soil particles, water can remain there. And also water can be absorbed on the surface of clay particles, because clay is negatively charged and water molecule has positive charge. They can remain adsorbed on the surface of particles as a film, Clear?
Sir, I have a question.
Sorry?
স্যার, একটা কোয়েশ্চেন ছিল।
Okay.
স্যার, আপনি কি স্লাইড গুলো চেঞ্জ করছেন?
আমি তো স্লাইড পড়াচ্ছি না রে বাপ।
ও আচ্ছা স্যার।
I don't talk yet on the slides. I am just giving you just previous idea that before you go to my slides, you note some basics of soil water.
Okay, sir.
Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So first you know how does soil hold water, then the location of water in soil, where does water remain in soil, we should know this. And then at the beginning I said you about some importance of soil water, because you need to know what is the importance of this class. If it is important for you, then you join. If it is not important for you, then leave. So first you have to fix, is it important for you? Then second is my main topic, soil water. So if someone asks you what is soil water, then you can say, okay, the water which is held in soil by some forces of attraction is soil water. The water which is held in soil, how? By some forces of attraction. What are the forces? Adhesion and cohesion. Clear?
Cohesion.
Okay, so what is soil water then?
Sir, the water which is held in soil is called soil water.
The water which remains in soil, which is held in soil, is soil water. But how? Soil water
By some forces of
attraction.
cohesion
What
and
are the
adhesion.
forces? They are adhesion and cohesion. So what is the adhesion? This is the attraction between dissimilar molecules, like attraction between soil particle and water. And cohesion, attraction between water and water, that is similar attraction between similar molecules. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Clear? So now you are sure that soil needs to hold some water for whom? For the plants, for the crops, for the microbes. For whom soil need to hold water? For the plants, for the crops, for the microorganisms, for the microorganisms. Clear? So if you don't have enough water in soil for the plants, what do? We supply irrigation water, right? We supply
Yes, sir.
irrigation water. But if there is excessive of water, if there is excess water, then what do? We drain out some water. That means you need to keep some optimum level of water in the root zone for a successful crop production, for better crop production, for higher crop production. For the optimum crop production, you need to keep water available in the root zone. In the where?
Root zone.
Root zone. In the root zone. So if you have shortage of water in the root zone, you have to apply water. If you have excessive of water, then you have to drain out the excess water. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, you should know how much water is there in the root zone. How much water is there in the root zone? Is this water optimum for plant growth? Is this water optimum for microbial activities to keep it aerobic condition or anaerobic condition? If you want to keep the system anaerobic for example, for the rice, we normally keep anaerobic condition. We normally keep flooded of water. We keep standing water in the field. That means you need to apply water. If you need to keep it aerobic, do you know aerobic?
Yes, sir.
The proper amount of
desert
oxygen is
area.
there.
Sorry?
Sir,
The
the
when
desert
proper
area.
amount of oxygen.
Exactly. You need some oxygen, like for potato, for cucumber, all cucumbers, cucurbitaceae family crops, for chili and other crops, you cannot keep them stagnant. You have to keep them aerated. That means, so both water and air should be proportionate enough. Okay, otherwise root will be rotten because of lack of respiration, because of lack of oxygen penetration. So for some crops you can keep aerobic, some crop you need to keep anaerobic conditions. Then you need to know exact amount of water present in the root zone and how much water you have to apply through irrigation. For this you need to measure soil water. Clear? You
Yes, sir.
need to measure soil water because this is the very important part of the environment, important part of the climate smart agriculture system, important part to make our soil system more resilient to the climate change, because you know the climate system is changing, right? Do you know?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Climate
Due to
system is,
greenhouse gases.
sorry?
Yes, climate change. Climate is changing due to greenhouse gases.
Greenhouse gases. Is it only for greenhouse gases?
No, sir. Other condition will
Right,
happen.
right. But what does what we see in agriculture sector for the climate change? There is an effect on soil water content. You will see some erratic rainfall not in the routine time. There are some rainfall sometime in December, in February, and sometime there is no rainfall in March, April. So there is some uneven distribution of rainfall. Like 20 years back, we see there is a good schedule of rainfall. If you say, okay, April 1 to April 10, there will be torrential rain, and it happened. But nowadays, you won't see this kind of a schedule of rain. You will see erratic rainfall. Sometimes there is huge rain in off time. Sometimes in the rainy time, there is no rain. That means we say this is extreme event in that in the climate parameters. For rainfall, for temperatures, there is an extreme event, that is erratic event, that is uneven distribution. Okay, and then how will you fit your crops in the field? Because you normally assume that okay, in the April we have plenty of water, but in April maybe there is some additional rainfall, then it will damage your crops. Okay. So this is an effect of the climate change, right? And if you are using more water for irrigation, your groundwater is now shortage, because in winter in some part of Bangladesh, even in Nepal, you don't have water in the tube oil. Have you seen it? There is no water
Yes,
in the
sir.
tube oil. That means water went out of the reach of tube oil. Why? Because of more water abstraction from the groundwater. More groundwater abstraction is causing this kind of fall down of your water level in underground. So this is also another environmental catastrophe. So sometimes we say the water will be more expensive than petrol. Have you heard it? Hello.
No, sir.
The
Sir,
price
again,
of
please.
water will be even higher than petrol, because if you have this negative effect of climate change, if you have shortage of water, then you will see the water is more expensive than petrol. It can happen. So there is a crisis of water. In Bangladesh, we have two kind of water crisis. One, we have flooding in the rainy season, we have problems with excess water. And in winter, we have problems with shortage of water. We don't have irrigation water. Our rivers are drying out in winter. That means we have water crisis in winter, and we have crisis of excess water in the rainy season. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So two-way problem in Bangladesh. Two-way water crisis.
Water level is lowering, sir.
Exactly. So then what we have to plan with water in the crop field? Then we have to make an optimum use of our water. No way to use excessive water. No way to keep shortage of water in the rooting zone. So we have to be very economic, very economic. That means we cannot just provide flood water. We cannot provide water like we used to do, flood water. Now we cannot do flood water. We have to give water to the crop drop by drop, drop by drop. Why? Because we don't have excess water in the groundwater. We don't have excess water in river water. Our rivers are drying out. So where do we get water for irrigation? That means we have shortage of water for irrigation. That means we have to provide water to the root zone only drop by drop. No way to lose water. No way to lose water. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then United what we call UN, United Nations, they are suggesting that you have to produce more crop per drop. That means you have to estimate your crop production per unit drop of water. That means more crop per drop. More crop per
Drop of water.
More crop per drop.
That means more crop per drop. That is drop of water. So we have to calculate every drop of water. We don't have any way to lose water. Clear? So in Nepal, you have plenty of water to lose. Nepali students?
Yes, sir.
You have plenty of water to lose.
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes.
In the tube oil, groundwater or surface water?
Sir, both, sir.
Groundwater or surface water? River water?
Yeah, river water also and from ground also.
And we have plenty of water, no shortage of water in Nepal.
Sir, in some part there is shortage, but most of part not shortage.
Most of part.
There are plenty of water. Yes,
But
sir.
in Bangladesh, in rainy season, we have shortage of water. We don't have water for irrigation water supply. That means we have to calculate every drop of water to keep root zone with optimum water. Okay, and all this background why I am saying this, for keeping the root zone with optimum water, for providing water, or for draining out excess water, we need to know plant soil water content, how much water is present in soil. Okay, so now we start. Methods of soil water measurement. How can we measure soil water content? Methods of soil water measurements. We have some direct method, we have some indirect method. First one, direct measurement. Direct method is water content. This is gravimetric method, and we can convert the water content measured in gravimetric method to the volumetric method. The first method is direct measurement of soil water content. First method is direct method, and the second one is indirect method.
Indirect.
Do you have another class at 11?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir. We have.
What class is it?
Agricultural chemistry, sir.
Okay, okay. So how do you record your attendance?
So via Google Form.
By using Google Form.
Okay, so you have any representative to record this?
Yes, sir. Fuad.
Yes, sir.
Fuad, Awal.
Awal?
Yes.
Who is the representative?
স্যার অ্যাকচুয়ালি স্যার আমাদের
মহি আলম, ফুয়াদ এবং আওয়াল এই দুইজন।
Okay, so Fuad and Awal, are you present in the class?
জি স্যার আছি স্যার।
Okay, can you record the attendance?
জি স্যার অবশ্যই স্যার।
Okay. Okay, record it. So I think I should stop here. I think I should.
sir, if you permit us, we can
Okay. Okay, so I think I should stop here today. The first.
স্যার আমি হচ্ছে স্যার অ্যাটেন্ডেন্সটা নিয়ে স্যার আমি আপনাকে মেইল করে দিচ্ছি স্যার।
Okay, good. অ্যাটেন্ডেন্সটা মেইল করে দাও। আজকে আমরা আর মেইন কন্টেন্টের দিকে, মেইন টেক্সটের দিকে আমরা যাচ্ছি না। আজকে ইনিশিয়াল কথাবার্তা বলে শেষ করলাম। অ্যাটেন্ডেন্স দেখবো। ইনান আহমেদ আছে? ইনান আহমেদ?
Yes, sir.
ইনান বলতে পারবে আমরা আসলে সয়েল ওয়াটার ইম্পর্টেন্স সম্পর্কে কয়টা পয়েন্ট বলছি?
কয়টা বলছি বলতে পারবো না স্যার, কয়েকটা পয়েন্ট বলতে পারবো।
বলো দেখি।
স্যার গাছের যে পুষ্টিগুলা দরকার এগুলা স্যার আয়নিক মাধ্যমে যায়, এর জন্য স্যার সলিউশনের প্রয়োজন হয়, এই জন্য স্যার ওয়াটারটা প্রয়োজন। স্যার গাছের হিট কন্ট্রোল করার জন্য ওয়াটারটা প্রয়োজন।
আর তারপরে সাবিহা নাই, তাই না?
জি স্যার আসি স্যার।
তুমি কি বাইরে গেছিলা? চা খাইতে গেছো? কেউ ডাক দিছে?
না স্যার
তাহলে এতক্ষণ ডাক দিছে কেন? ওকে, এরপরে জোবাইদা।